The Johnny program on UBC TV is brought to you by Blascon. Color your world.
Hello viewers, my name is Dr. James Isagara Kisoro. I am the chairman of Kabalega Foundation. Kabalega Foundation is an organization that was established in 2019 as one that is aimed at promoting and preserving the legacy of Mkamachwatu Kabalega through service and promotion of his lifelong ideals. Kabalega Foundation has a number of programs that we run, and those include cultural research, documentation and dissemination, environmental protection, civic advocacy, social livelihood improvement, and education and life skills development. Through these programs, we've been able to reach out to a number of people and been able to impact community. Much as we have not so many years to write home about, but we've already been on ground in the communities trying to do this and that. We do have this year coming from the previous one where we were commemorating 100 years of Kabalega, which aimed at looking at or enumerating the legacy of Kabalega, but also bringing it up front to the current generation to understand who Kabalega was, what his life was, what his achievements was. He is a national hero. Many people may not fully know why is he a national hero. So we had this commemoration to try to highlight the legacy that his name has to it, and have that commemoration as a person who really deserves that for so many reasons: for the social transformation that he introduced in society, for the resistance to colonialism, to preserve our independence, for so many things that he did in regard to ensuring that the community moved from where it was into the very developmental state that he had during his reign. We do have a lot that we did do last year through the 100-year commemoration, which was a year-long program. We had first and foremost the launch of the commemoration, which was on the 6th of April 2023, and that was held in Kibale at Kikangara Hill. We did have that as a special place chosen because that's a place where Mkam was enthroned as king at the age of 16, and that's where his journey of leadership began. So we chose that place purposely for that, and we do thank everyone that supported that program or that activity. We did move on to have the Kabalega Rally, which last year featured as a pre-Mpango activity, because it was the one that we needed to ensure that through the commemoration of the current king's rule, which we call Mpango, we did also have a highlight of his grandfather's legacy in that year-long commemoration. We did have Kabalega Independence Run, which was held on the 7th of October 2023 at Hoima Boma Grounds, and it was a success. We did have a lot of people coming through to support, a lot of people coming to run, and we have that as an event that we inaugurated for the future, that starting from last year we want to hold it every year and have the legacy of Kabalega live on, while we use it as an event to run for different causes that have value to the community. Last year's run focused on establishment of Kabalega Education Fund, and through that we did aim to have the first target of the run being donation of school library books to 4 identified target schools in the region, and that process is ongoing. The baseline survey for the needs for the schools has been completed, and we do have the procurements for these materials ongoing. Through the same fund, we have also launched the community skilling program, and that program is going to be able to look at imparting practical skills for youth, for women, for persons with disabilities. It is a program that is open for application, and we are receiving those up to 20th of September. So anyone who is interested in that, we are calling upon them, and the profiles of the different programs are listed. We did have a Kabalega Memorial Lecture, which we held on the 18th of December 2023, and the theme of that lecture was understanding the role of culture in development of Africa. We do have a very rich cultural heritage in Africa, and if only we could leverage it, we can have so many benefits and so many lessons to learn from it for the modern day world. We did have the privilege of hosting Professor PLO Lumumba as a keynote address speaker, and so many academia, so many cultural institutions, so much of the leadership of this country, students, and the business community came to attend the event. And we thank still the people that, or the organizations that we worked with, that event was a success. It was held at Kampala Serena Hotel, and still, as I said, some of these events we did have them as inaugural, but we want to carry them on and ensure that we have them coming every year. Kabalega Memorial Lecture will also be another one to look out for as an annual event that focuses on different themes towards enlightening our community about subjects that matter. And by that, leveraging the hero that we know, the legacy that we know, to communicate to the people that we reach out to. We do also have the Kabalega, it was called the 100 Years of Kabalega Royal Dinner that was held in Hoima at Resort Hotel Hoima. And it was also one that we wanted to mobilize the community to celebrate. By this time round, to come and sit and dine and make merry. And along with it, we also had commemoration awards, which we took time to select some people from the community where Kabalega reigned, who have exemplified his ideals, his values in developing society, in giving their best to ensure that they play their part in development. We have so much to write home about from that event, from that commemoration. We also had the privilege of working with the Ministry of Tourism and, of course, New Tara Kingdom to plan. We'll come up with a project which we call the Kabalega Cultural Square, which we have as a legacy landmark project, which is in the offing to mark the 100 years commemoration. We could not achieve it in the 1 year program, but the designs, and everything that is to do with it is ready. So we are calling on partners, we're reaching out to different stakeholders to see how this project actually comes to life. At an appropriate time, we shall invite the public to come and fully commission it and see how we can undertake its development. Away from that, we do have these events that I mentioned, the inaugurated events, Kabalega Independence Run and Kabalega Memorial Lecture coming up. Kabalega Independence Run being for October 5th, 2024, and Kabalega Memorial Lecture planned for 10th of December, 2024. Before we can go maybe to further look into those, it is also a privilege that we worked with a number of partners that gave us a lot of support, and we cannot forget to thank them. So I take this opportunity to thank the many partners that we worked with, starting with the Uganda Energy Credit Capitalization Company, the Civil Aviation Authority, Airtel Money, Equity Bank, Stanbic Bank, MSL Logistics, Movit. There are so many that I could go on and on. UA, the Ministry of Tourism, and Royal Milk. We had so many media companies or media houses coming in to support UBC, amongst so many other media houses that give us airtime to promote this commemoration. We do thank you greatly, and as we thank you, we also would like to ensure that we continue the partnerships that we established towards ensuring that the legacy of Kabalega, as we say, we want to leverage it for social, cultural, and economic transformation of society, is something to look out for and ensure that we work with you all to ensure that we continue the work we began together. Kabalega Foundation has had its works out in the light for the last 5 years. Of course, those years came with disruptions, as we have said before. COVID was a problem. Through the commemoration, we picked up all our work and we are on course. Of course, we want to implore as many more partners to join us in the programs that we run to ensure that we have impact to community. We also had a few challenges. Of course, no organization might be exempt from those. As we do these events, as we do these activities, the resource envelope sometimes is capped to how much we can do. That's why we want to implore more partners, more people who believe in the cause of what we are doing, to come on board to see how we can work together to uplift society. We do need a lot of support to ensure that they are successful. One of those programs that I mentioned, the Green Future Campaign, which we have as the focus of this year's run, the Kabalega Independence Run 2024. We're looking at how to address the problem of climate change, and this is a problem that is with us. The human effects on the environment have exacerbated it, and we want to make an intervention by ensuring that we can mobilize the community to not only run but also shed light on that need for us to have more awareness that our impacts on the community that we live in cause problems for us as society. We want to ensure that the proceeds of the 2024 run go towards mobilization of tree seedlings that we want to ensure that we have a target for, the target being 500,000 tree seedlings through a one-year campaign. And these tree seedlings, of course, have to move and get to the people that need them. So we want to also ensure that the distribution of these trees to the people that are supposed to plant them is done. The region that we are focusing on for this campaign is especially the Albertine region. The reason for that is that whereas this region holds so much value for us as a country in terms of the oil and gas resources that are in that place, there's also need to pay very keen attention to the environment where they're operating. We know that the gas emissions and any other works they're doing definitely has an impact on the environment, but it doesn't have to be that the works can or should be halted because of this environmental impact. We can focus on the environmental impact by how we can address it, and one of those, that's why we're saying that we want to ensure that we do tree planting. We want to ensure that we create more awareness about the community's need to conserve the environment, the forests, the wetlands, the rivers, and all these places, by ensuring that encroachment on them is not a problem, by ensuring that trees are not being cut down, by ensuring that more trees are being planted, by ensuring that people know the value of conserving the environment. We want to ensure that, of course, we also promote clean cooking technologies, because that's one way, that's one very major source of firewood, which is a very big contributor to environmental degradation. The charcoal burning, the firewood and all that. We want to try as much to promote clean cooking technologies that can serve as an alternative to the traditional ways of using these resources. We want to also ensure that we promote green jobs, that the forests can actually be sources of raw materials, can be sources of so many things that can be of value in terms of community livelihood. There are bamboo forests that people are using for making crafts and so many things. I'll enumerate that later in terms of how we are supporting that activity. But the focus of the run, as I said, ensuring that we have the community understanding why we need to conserve the environment, but also showing them how we can conserve it while still having value from it. We do have partners, and we want to thank those that have already jumped onto the campaign. We want to especially thank the Uganda Energy Credit Capitalization Company, which has already come on board to support the campaign. We want to thank EACOP, the East African Crude Oil Pipeline, which is in the space of the oil and gas and already sees the need to work with the community to ensure that conservation is given due attention. We want to thank Roofings Uganda Limited, because they've also come on board very handy. They've already pledged 10,000 tree seedlings, and that is, of course, a very big contribution. We want to thank that. And they've already also committed to ensure that through the year-long activity, they will be doing more to ensure that the campaign is successful and that the results can be to the conservation of the environment that we all desire to see. We want to thank Development Revolvers as another partner that has come on board, especially to promote clean cooking technologies. That is an area of specialty. So we're working with them to develop mechanisms of how we can provide these cheap, affordable technologies to the community, and also sensitizing them about how to use them or how to create them in their own environments. We want to thank the media houses, including UBC, that has come on board to ensure that the awareness about this campaign is there, but also about the interventions we are making, among so many other media houses that are also partnering with us on that campaign. The program is a year-long program, so the run only serves to commission it. On that day, we want to ensure that we have a light tree planting campaign. We are working with the Hoima City Council to identify a public place where we shall undertake the commissioning of that campaign, but we will carry forward through the year from every rainy season, knowing that we have to ensure that we have this campaign achieving its objective. On this note, I would like to implore more players in the space that we're talking about the environment and conservation to come on board, to work with us, to see how we can mobilize the community to have this campaign successful. The environmental program also has other aspects that we want to ensure that we do. One of those is ensuring that the community has support. There's one thing to get tree seedlings, and it's also another to effectively plant them and actually grow them. It is on that basis that we have actually been able to reach out to partners with the technical skills, technical know-how in forestry, in growing trees, to be able to not only train the people that will be interested in taking part in the campaign, but also in giving them technical support in terms of knowing how you can actually have a successful plantation, tree plantation, and grow it to maturity. Of course, it comes with a lot of challenges to have trees grow. The bushes, the fires, the pests, and all that. We want to ensure that there's someone or there's a team of people that are there to support the community in terms of knowing how to overcome all these challenges. Someone might wonder, how are these trees going to be accessible? We are already having the registration for interest in these trees open. Anyone can reach out to our office. The key things that we're interested in is to know the person by name, to know where they are located by address, to know how many trees they want, to know exactly how they're going to actually plant them so that we can guide them. We don't want to have trees that will go out in the community and maybe due to lack of technical know-how be wasted. So we want to ensure that we can trace and be able to follow up with these people to ensure that the campaign actually achieves its objective. There's also an element of ensuring that people also have value in the trees they are planting. We do have the training also to focus on agroforestry, where someone knows that I have land where I'm doing agriculture, but I can also do mix with a tree growing to have what we call agroforestry. The technical people will be available to support the members that, the committee members that pick up on this, to be able to see how they can actually also consider that. When you look at the question of why do we have this in October, we do have Kabalega Independence Run, particularly in October, because we as a foundation look back and look at the history of this land, and we know that we had our independence before the colonialists came and colonized us and gave us what oftentimes would come across as pseudo independence. We want to celebrate the heroes that fought for our independence before the colonialism. They did their part. They fought much as they did not succeed in fending off the invading colonialists, but their legacies, their efforts in preserving our independence is what we want to highlight. And when we talk about Kabalega Independence Run, it is not only Kabalega that we want to recognize. We want to recognize every hero of this land that actually made effort to resist colonialism. We want to make that effort to ensure that we profile them. The naming of the Independence Run to Kabalega is only a symbolic one, that there was Kabalega among them, and maybe he had a lot to write home about in terms of his resistance. But we want to implore every nation of this country, every Pan-African, every person who believes in the potential of Africa and its abilities to ensure that this is a campaign that they take part in. The Independence Run and its focus on the Albertine region is not for any other reason apart from looking at a national resource which we want to ensure that we benefit from, but also conserve the environment where it is. The subsequent runs as they come, we want to ensure that we tackle national causes that the Independence Run should be able to pick up. That is a message that I want to ensure that everyone understands, that Kabalega Independence Run is a national event that we want to ensure that the nationalism that we had portrayed by Kabalega is the same that we carry into this event in terms of participation, but also in the impacts of this run in the future. We want to ensure that we can reach out to communities far beyond the domain where Kabalega is especially known for, the kingdom which he ruled, to be able to impart or to impact societies that need help, or causes that are of value to our people in the country. We have Kabalega Culture Square. Kabalega Culture Square, as I said, is a legacy landmark project that we conceptualized together with Bunyoro Kitara Kingdom and the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, to ensure that when we say we commemorated 100 years of Kabalega, there's something physical to show for it, and that is the square that we want to construct. It has a lot of amenities, starting with the monument of Kabalega, 20 feet tall. The design of that square is especially informed by our cultural heritage, our history, and the ways of life of our people. It features a traditional museum and a history and cultural museum, where we want to collect artifacts that we can get in there for people to come and learn from. It features a restaurant which we want to make a traditional cuisine restaurant, so that people can come and enjoy their traditional cuisines. It has a stage for performance. We want to ensure that through it we can promote culture dances and entertainment. And it also has a youth center, where we want to ensure that they have facilities that can attract them to come and learn. There's a gym, there's a fitness area, where we expect, or we imagine that when they come to that center, they can also take interest in what is around the center, the history and culture museum, the traditional cuisines, the dances on the stage that will be there, and so many other things to intrigue them to come and learn. It's under the Kabalega Education Fund. We also have a couple of activities that we're already doing. One of those from last year's event, as I mentioned, we did target to ensure that the first target of the run is to mobilize and donate school library books to schools that we identified in need of this. And the process already has been ongoing. We did have need to conduct a baseline survey so that we understand the exact books which these schools need. The team has been undertaking that work, and for the detail of the schools, we do have Satito Winyi Secondary School, we do have Kabalega SS, we do have Druhaga SS, and we have St. Edward's Okumi. All these schools have already been onboarded in terms of understanding their needs, and the processes of procurement of these books together with our partners is ongoing, so that this is something we close. The fund is a long-term establishment through which we want to impact community through supporting education. It is not a one-year activity, it is a long-term establishment, and we shall do everything we can to continue to grow this fund, to do more. We want to be able to contribute to supporting schools in much more ways. We want to be able to continue to support learners in so many ways, with scholastic, with fees requirements and all that, but all that is in our planning for the future. We want to implore our partners who believe in that cause to be able to come on board to see how we can actually ensure that this fund is grown into a sustainable fund. And the fact that we tagged it to the Kabalega legacy, we believe that so many people believe in this, and we want to ensure that we want to see as many coming on board. The fund is already doing more than what we maybe could have earlier looked at in the first year. We've had the opportunity of having partners that have come on board to support the program that we are calling the Community Skills Development Program, and that is aiming at imparting practical skills, short-term learning, but practical skills that the community members can use to not only look out for employment, but also to be able to look into self-employment and stimulating of development of micro-enterprises within the community. That to address the challenges of unemployment of our youth, and also to tackle the aspect of improving livelihoods for people through having an income. This program looks at especially the youth and women, but also persons with disabilities, because we know these are special categories in our community, and we want to make a deliberate effort to support them. The youth, of course, this includes both ladies and gentlemen. We want to ensure that these young people, who are the majority in our population, are skilled and are able to do something for sustenance and for livelihood enhancement. This program is running both in Hoima and in Kampala at our Hoima office. Anyone interested can reach out and get the information on how to apply. Similarly, at our Kampala office. Much more detail about this program is on our website at kavalegafoundation.org/CSDP. We also want to ensure that we support through this program refugees. We know that Uganda is a very hospitable country. We've welcomed so many people from all walks of life, and they live within our communities. So this program is not only for Ugandans, but we also want to ensure that any duly registered refugee can actually join it and be able to benefit from the skills. The skills that we have in context for this year, which is also a year-long program and aiming to impart skills to at least 800 trainees, looks at welding and metal fabrication, looks at baking and confectionery, looks at handcraft making, looks at liquid soap making, looks at basic ICT skills, among others. These are skills that we believe that if someone has, even before they reach out for employment, with a little capital, they can start out an enterprise, or they can actually do something that an opportunity presenting itself requires. These people will be certified with our partners who are working with the Directorate of Industrial Training to ensure that they hold certificates which are able to enable them reach out and get opportunities that present themselves. The fund will grow. It will continue to undertake more activities, but as of now, we hope that as many people as believe in already the ongoing work can come on board to support and ensure that we move it from where it is to a broader dimension of impact. Through the year-long commemoration of 100 years of Kabalega, we had the opportunity of working with Nyati Motion Pictures, the makers of Tuko Pamoja docu series, and we do greatly appreciate their initiative of profiling and highlighting our cultural heritage and history. It is a docu series that has been produced in terms of showing where we come from as a people, and the Tuko Pamoja being a Swahili word just loosely translated for we are one. It's an initiative that we believe in, and that is something that aligns to our cultural research and documentation. We are glad that we worked with Nyati Motion Pictures on this, and we want to ensure that such initiatives continue to grow and thrive. And we want to call on partners, because those were highlights of the so much heritage, cultural heritage that we have in Uganda. These docu-series are supposed to be expounded into full films, into full documentaries, focusing on each region. But if you look at all of them, you'll find that there's so much to find that we are one people than the small things that actually seem to separate us or divide us. So we implore everyone to embrace culture through these documentaries, through these docu-series. We believe that everyone will come to appreciate there's so much heritage that we have that we can leverage for development. That I say for God and my country. Thank you.
The Journey program on UBC TV was brought to you by Plascon, Color Your World.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money. It's hands that feed us. Hands that prepare soil for farming. Hands that we use to learn. And hands that we use for fun.
When I wash and you wash, it means clean hands for all. So, wash your hands with soap and clean water regularly to keep away infections and disease-causing germs. This message is from the National Hand Washing Secretariat with support from UNICEF.
Oh my God, Muta! When did you go? Where are you? Segawa?
I am far and well off. For 2 years now, I'm in Dubai making serious money.
Muta, some money.
Come, we make the money. Yes.
But seriously, man, how did you find a job abroad? I've been robbed for so many times by these fraudsters.
But Segawa, don't you know that our government has already made bilateral agreements with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan, and the United Arab Emirates? Through the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development, the government licenses and monitors all companies to take people that work abroad.
Are you serious?
Yes, because man, there are a lot of fraudsters.
So I need to find a legit recruitment company that is licensed by the Ministry of Gender, Labor and
Labor and Social Development.
Oh my God! Hey, I can't wait to make this money, bro!
Come, we make the money.
Yeah, man, I'm coming.